Hi, everybody, and welcome to a snowy Friday afternoon in front of Ottawa City Hall in Marion Dewar Plaza, directly beside the Rink of Dreams. It's weekend number 2 of Winterlude, and over the past few years, historically, it's been called Waterlude, but not this year because we're getting 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, and winter has really bared its teeth for weekend number 2 of our annual Winter Festival. It's Rogers Hometown Hockey Weekend. They are working in conjunction with the Canadian Heritage Department, and they are putting on quite a show here this weekend. All kinds of NHL alumni are going to be here, and while Ron McLean and Tara Sloan are usually the catalysts for any success of Rogers Hometown Hockey, with me now is the straw that stirs the drink of the show that's actually happening here at Marion Dewar Plaza. Kyle Buttonham is the MC, and you travel with this show across the country. What have your impressions been of not only Canadians' take and stake in our national game, but I guess in this winter season as well?
It's remarkable, Dan, what we see when we go coast to coast. We go to 25 different cities and towns throughout the regular season of the NHL, and each city and town that we go to is different in a lot of ways, but really shares that communal passion and pride for hockey, but also for their own hometowns, and that's what we see everywhere we go. And it's a real treat to be here in Ottawa, in the nation's capital, which is really Canada in one city, as they say. So we're looking forward to a great weekend as well here, and you know, with Ottawa being the inclusive and diverse city that it is, I think it's really going to encapsulate everything that we've seen so far this season and everything we've seen so far in 6 seasons with Rogers Hometown Hockey.
Now, this started very, very humble beginnings. I remember the first time. This is the third time you've been to the nation's capital with Hometown Hockey. The first time was like 3/10, and now you've got the entire plaza here covered with Rogers Hometown Hockey.
Oh, it's incredible! It just keeps growing and growing. It's amazing, and to think where the program started and where it is now 6 seasons later. I think the biggest thing for us that's really been impactful for those that have especially worked since it on the very beginning is really the following that the fans have now. There's a brand recognition with Rogers Hometown Hockey, of course, with all the work that Ron and Tara do in and out of communities, and the support of our sponsors, of course, Rogers being one, Hyundai joining us this year, and Scotiabank. They put a lot of hard work into making this the festival that it is, and of course the crew behind the scenes that's working super hard right now.
Not only the television crew, but the logistical crew to set everything up here.
Absolutely. They work around the clock. I mean, they get in Thursday early in the morning, and they're grinding all the way through till Friday night most weekends, just to get ready to then open the festival Saturday and Sunday, which they work on as well, and then they close it Sunday night. So they are working around the clock, and it's an incredible crew, an incredible team here, and I think that's kind of what has led to a lot of success here for Rogers Hometown Hockey as well.
Kyle, any difference in the feel that you get from major metropolitan areas like Ottawa, and then you go to the small towns, like in Newfoundland, for example? You've brought Rogers Hometown Hockey across the country. Any difference in the smaller venues as opposed to the larger metropolitan areas?
Yeah, you know, I would say with the smaller venues when we're there, it really do get that small hometown feel, and we're definitely embraced. We're embraced everywhere we go, and we love that. But I think it's great that we have a mix of both, because I mean, it wouldn't be Rogers Hometown Hockey if we weren't visiting the large cities and the small towns across the country, because each place that we go has a story to tell. And it's funny, we were here 3 years ago, my first year, down at Lansdowne Park, and we were at right beside Aberdeen Pavilion there, and I remember learning that I think it was 1904, the Ottawa Hockey Club held the Stanley Cup playoffs there
in the Aberdeen Pavilion.
In the Aberdeen Pavilion, and with that generation of hockey, with the Silver Seven and the Super Six. That Ottawa Hockey Club were founding members of the National Hockey Association, which then led into the National Hockey League. So the game that we know and love today very much had a big part to do with Ottawa. So big city, small town, whatever it is, we're always excited to unearth the hockey history that's there and really find out what the community is all about, what makes it special. And I think hockey and Ottawa in one sense are pretty synonymous, especially given the history of it here. So it's just like that everywhere we go. We find out things that will wow you, and then the crew with Sportsnet does an incredible job then sharing those stories with the rest of Canada.
We got 2 minutes left in this segment. This is a very, very busy weekend for you folks. What can people expect when they come down to Marion Dewar Plaza?
Oh my goodness! I'm going to try and ring it all off because we do have a lot going on, as you said, and it starts tonight. So at 7 p.m. tonight, we've got my good friend Steve Goodtime and his Rockin hockey show kicking off the event, which is very exciting. He's a hilarious.
He's right over
He's
there.
Right over there. He's getting ready
Big
to juggle
smile
some
ear to
flaming
ear.
torches, and he's a great addition to our team this year. And then we've got Ottawa's own Silver Creek performing live, and Amanda Rayome, which is very exciting. So that's from 7 to 10 tonight. And then tomorrow we kick things off at 10 a.m. and we're going until 6 p.m. We have the Senators' Rink of Dreams alumni game going on. So Chris Phillips, Chris Neal, and amongst others will be playing in that game. And then throughout the weekend, we're going to have NHL alumni joining us.
Such
on top
as?
of that. We've got Chris Phillips, a well-beloved Ottawa Senator, of course. And
On the 18th, he's having his jersey retired, too, by the way.
That's incredible, and well-deserved as well. And then joining him, we have Ottawa's own Dan Boyle, Stanley Cup champion, Olympic gold medalist. And then third, we have one of the greatest defensemen of all time, one of the 100 greatest players of all time, 4-time Stanley Cup champ, and from Vanier, Dennis Potvin, which is very exciting.
Actually, he's from Overbrook. I'm going to correct you on that one.
Wikipedia led me astray. but regardless, we're so excited to have all three of them join us. And then Sunday at noon, we're going to have the Stanley Cup. And then Sunday night, we have the live national broadcast. We have the Chicago Blackhawks and the Winnipeg Jets taking on one another. And Sean Hook is going to perform live as well.
Kyle Buttonham, thanks so much for standing out in the brisk cold and explaining what's going on this weekend. Best of luck throughout the course of the weekend as well. It's Rogers Hometown Hockey here at Marion Dewar Plaza all weekend long. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with more of our Winterlude special edition of Daytime after the break. Welcome back to Marion Dewar Plaza and the Winterlude show for our Daytime for Friday. I guess this is February the 7th, the first day of the second weekend of Winterlude for 2020. I'm here with Steve Goodtime, and he's holding these flames here not only to provide us with information on what his show is going to be about this weekend, but to keep us warm more than anything else. Steve, welcome to the nation's capital.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're a big part of this show, obviously.
Probably the biggest part. Yeah, definitely the biggest part of the show. The face of the festival.
And it was really difficult to get his head through the gate here this afternoon, but that's okay, too. What's your show about, Steve?
Well, it's the Rockin hockey show. So the whole show is about rock and roll, my love of it, and hockey. So, in the end, I do play a bunch of guitar solos while doing a bunch of hockey tricks, juggling some skate blades, breathing fire, just living the dream.
Living the dream. How many of these shows, what's your history with Rogers Hometown Hockey?
Well, this is my first full year performing with them. I did a couple stops last year, but I think this is our 18th stop now, and we've been giving her ever since. It's been wonderful.
What are your thoughts? I mean, as a Canadian and probably a hockey player in your younger days, what are your impressions of what you've seen across the country with Rogers Hometown Hockey?
I mean, the festival's been amazing. I love that it can bring hockey to small towns and also big ones as well. It's been great, actually, as a childhood hockey player, meeting all my heroes from growing up. It's been a beautiful time.
What about the reaction you get from Canadians in each and every stop that you make?
It's actually amazing. It's really amazing. It's a little iffy on doing outdoor winter shows with a bunch of fire and tricks and circus stuff, but no, the crowds have been so welcoming. It's been amazing. We do a lot of work with elementary schools, so on the Fridays we normally do a school visit, and those have been some of the best shows I've ever done in my 10-year career doing this.
You've been doing this a long time now. Yeah. You're coming to a venue such as this. Yeah. Is this one of the bigger parts or bigger shows that you've done with Hometown Hockey, or is it generally scaled down for smaller venues?
I mean, I haven't seen the crowds yet. My first show is tonight. At 7:15. Come see it. Please. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a big festival. I'm really excited because, I mean, it is the nation's capital. So, yeah, it should be a banger tonight. I'm really excited.
Okay, how long is your show?
It's about half an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay. And you start with the fire, and then you go to skate blades. How does it work?
Yeah, I start with the fire. There's a big juggling routine with volunteers. They're throwing torches at me. They get a lot of joy out of that. Then it moves to some fire breathing. Then I balance up on top of a big, tall structure thing. And then I play Thunderstruck on my guitar while juggling fire and juggling some skate blades on a stick. And then I just run through the crowd playing guitar solos.
We're gonna get Steve Goodtime to take us out, but I just want you to know that he wears this helmet 24 hours a day too. So juggle for us. Show us a bit of your show.
Just pretend they're still on fire.
Oh, nice catch too. Oh,
I've done it before.
but you doused the flame in the snow. I don't know. Do you lose points for that?
No, it's style points. Because really, if you were nervous, you'd be like, oh no, my torch went out. But I don't care. We got confidence.
How many stops have you made this year, and how many more have you got left to go?
This is our 18th stop, and I believe we have 7 left. Yeah, we've got 7 more to go. Yeah, I think we're ending it on the West Coast. I think in Edmonton actually is our last stop.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And if you had anything to impart on the Canadians that you've performed for, here's an opportunity for you to do it.
Any wisdom?
Yeah. Based on what you've seen, and do you think there might be a book here?
I mean, absolutely. There's a book. I've been writing a child's book, but we'll get to that. But if there's any wisdom, life's a garden. Dig it.
This is Goodtime Steve. He'll be performing at 7:15 tonight here on the main stage at Marion Dewar Plaza. It's the second weekend of Winterlude. Steve, thanks so much. Best of luck the rest of the way, and best of luck with your shows this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Steve Goodtime. He's going to be keeping us warm with his fire for the remainder of this particular program, and perhaps you tonight when you come and see his show at 7:15 on the main stage here at Marion Dewar Plaza. Don't go anywhere, folks. The Winterlude edition of Daytime will continue after these words. At Ottawa City Hall beside the Rink of Dreams for weekend number 2 of Winterlude 2020. I'm joined now by Melanie Bro. She is with Canadian Heritage. She is the director of capital events. So that includes Canada Day, Winterlude, the Tulip Festival, yada, yada, yada.
Not the Tulip Festival, but
Okay.
Christmas lights across Canada.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
This is a huge event for Canadian Heritage, isn't it?
This is the 42nd edition of Winterlude. For 42 years,
I've seen them all.
we have had Winterlude in our nation's capital. I'm happy that you've seen them all. You've seen the evolution. You've seen where we've come. There's been changes along the way. And even this year we have new changes and stuff that's different. And that's what we're really excited about.
Like,
Well,
for instance.
For instance, Spark Street is our main destination this year. So this is where we invite everybody to come out and check out the ice sculptures. So we have our international ice carving challenges that are happening every weekend. And actually underway right now, we have the Battle of the Americas. So we actually have some ice sculptors that are here from Canada, US, and Mexico. And they kicked off this morning, and they're going to be sculpting their ice until Sunday at noon on Spark Street. So folks can come out and actually see them doing it live and in person.
How many artists?
We have 3 different countries. I believe we have 7 different artists that are competing at this time.
And if you've never seen these sculptures, the detail in the work is absolutely breathtaking.
It is breathtaking. It's beautiful at night, during the day, but spectacular at night. And Spark Street really comes alive in the evening. We've got all of Spark Street illuminated. There's also some pieces of art that people can interact with and play with and take selfies. It's really the main destination of Winterlude.
Now, you're working in conjunction with Rogers Hometown Hockey this weekend. How significant is Rogers Hometown Hockey to Winterlude 2020?
Well, I brought my hockey stick today,
It's an
Dan.
illegal stick, too.
It's a fabulous stick because I'm so excited because we all know that hockey is really one of, if not the most important sport to Canadians.
Certainly most identifiable, for
I
sure.
agree. And to have Rogers Hometown Hockey here on site as a part of Winterlude is so phenomenal. And tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, you can actually come out and watch an alumni game happening right here at the Rink of Dreams at Marion Dewar Plaza, right outside of our own City Hall. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
And
They don't normally have hockey on this rink, too,
I
so it'll be
know.
a very rare thing.
And alumni players in addition, right, from the Ottawa Sens and other NHL teams. But also tomorrow morning on the canal proper from 8 to 9 a.m. we have 110 minor hockey teams that are going to be playing on the canal. That's another place where you're not
You're
normally
not allowed to play
a
hockey on the
stick
canal. That's right.
or a puck.
That's right.
But we have special permission for these lucky kids to come out and play on the canal tomorrow morning. It's going to be a fabulous sight. So even if you're not going to be there with a child playing, coming to see it, it's going to be spectacular.
Okay. Winterlude goes through this weekend here at Marion Dewar Plaza and all across the city.
Yes.
Next weekend is the big final weekend of Winterlude. What can people expect for
Well, before we get to next weekend, I just want to remind people that we also have Ice Dragon Boat that's happening this weekend,
See?
again on the canal. And that'll be at Dow's Lake. It actually got started today, but the championships are happening tomorrow. Next weekend, don't forget to stop by Snowflake Kingdom. And it's actually open.
What is that?
That is our park where we have 15 different corridors of sliding.
that? Oh, is that
So-
at Jacques Cartier?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's for the young, but the young at heart as well, right?
Yeah.
For everybody. And we have an OLG snow bus that can take people from site to site to site. So hop on, it's free. It'll get you from Jacques Cartier Park, Snowflake Kingdom, all the way to Dow's Lake if you want it.
And where do you get these shuttles?
They are all over the downtown core, right along all of our destinations. I really recommend that people check out our website at canada.ca/Winterlude. So many pieces of information available there. You can plan your entire weekend. There's hotels, there's restaurants. All of the activities that are part of Winterlude are all listed there.
How successful has this program been? Yes, it's been going for 42 years, and it's grown significantly since it first began. Is this something that Ottawans can expect forever?
Well, we know that we have approximately 600,000 people that come to Winterlude every year. And we know that 30% of those are visitors that come from outside of the National Capital Region.
So it's a big part of the
I think
tourist-
that Winterlude, we're going to keep renewing ourselves and keep having an offer for Canadians.
Fantastic. Let me see that stick for a second. Here, this is an illegal stick because the tape
Dan!
moves up on the butt end. So, Melanie, you're in the box for 2 or less, for sure.
All right.
All right, Melanie Bro from Canadian Heritage, thanks so much for dropping by under such interesting conditions here.
Beautiful.
Indeed. It's just liquid sunshine for sure. Don't go anywhere, folks. More from Marion Dewar Plaza after the break.